today on location at Price Lanes in Wilmington, Delaware. And tonight we have Dave Feliciano taking with Gary Chumbor taking on Sally Ann Avallone and also Sally Avallone. A youth adult Scotch Doubles championships here. It's Steve Turnberger with John Thompson. And Coach, we finally get to see Mr. Bowler's Gazette out there on the lanes.
It'll be interesting to see him on the other side of the camera for a change.
Gary Chumbor, Dave Feliciano, and Sally Ann and Sally. This is Sally Ann, 14 years of age, currently a freshman at Padua Academy. A 103 average. The Avallones will be receiving a 36-pin handicap. Mother Sally will need the 5-pin for a spare here in frame number 1. The Avallones with an open frame here on their first attempt on lane number 9 here at Price Lanes. Sally with a 143
Sally Ann's
average.
mother seems to be more nervous of the two.
It's Dave Feliciano. Nice strike. Big mark for Dave on lane number 10. And here's Gary Chumbor. See him behind or in front of the camera all the time. Now we finally get to see him in action. Working on lane 9. Gary rips away. Destroyed a lot of wood, but left the 10-pin for Dave.
It's a good start for this team. The first 2 shots right in the pocket.
And Dave will pick up the spare in frame number 2. So Dave and Gary with a strike in the first, spare in the second. And the Avallones will take over now. Here's Sally Ann on lane number 10. Remember, they're working an open frame in the first. Got the head pin, and Mother Sally, real tough split here. 6, 7, 10. Sally's high sanctioned game was 234. That was in 82 up at Holiday Lanes. Sally will get the 6 and 10 pins and a couple open frames early for the Avallones. Sally Ann now on lane number 9. Only been bowling 2 years in league competition.
A nice shot by Sally Ann. She seems to have her emotions more under control than her mother right now.
Take a little time, get settled down. Mother Sally needs the 8-pin for the Avallones to pick up their first mark in this match. They're receiving a 36-pin handicap. And she will not be able to pick up the spare here in the third. A little jittery. I'm sure all the bowlers are nervous. Dave has been right on throughout this game. Here's Gary Chumbor. Gary's been in this situation before. Gets the head pin, and he'll leave the split for Dave.
Gary sometimes has a tendency to drop his shoulder and overthrow the ball. That's what happened in this particular case.
.310 for Dave. First open frame of the match for Dave Feliciano and Gary Chumbor. Now Sally Ann and Sally up 63-47 through 3 complete. Chumbor working an open frame to start the 4th. Puts a lot of heat on it. Dave will need the 5-pin. Dave's been a big help to us here on the Bowlers Gazette. Working some of the tournaments with us. Also works in the studio occasionally. Dave's a sophomore now at Del Castle Technical High School. Current average at 163. Has two sisters, Monique and Dawn. Dave's been bowling in league play for 4 years. Here's Sally Ann.
Good shot here.
Got the pocket. And Mother Sally will need that for the spare. She needs 5-8 in frame number 4.
Sally can pick this up. It'll boost her confidence. She'll be able to settle down and give us some good shots the rest of the match.
Sally's using a 14-pound ball this afternoon and picks up the spare. Big spare for the Avallones.
Maybe that'll give her some confidence and come on strong now.
That's the first mark of the match, and it comes in the 4th frame.
That's the first shot where she hasn't just totally thrown her arm clear across her body. She did get a little straighter through that one.
Sally Ann now. First ball in the 5th.
Another good shot.
Sally will need the 5-pin for their second consecutive spare. We'll be taking a quick break right after this ball. We are in the 5th frame. Gary Chumbor, Dave Feliciano taking on Sally and Sally Ann Avallone. This is Mother Sally. Cannot pick up the spare in the 5th. We'll take this break, come back to Price Lanes right after these words.
2, 1, cue.
Back at Price Lanes. Youth, adult, Scotch Championships here from Price Lanes in Wilmington, Delaware. Gary Chumbor.
Gary's a little out of control right now. Everything is just so fast, he doesn't have a chance to get the ball out on his target.
I think he's trying to impress all the viewers here on Channel 2. Dave Feliciano has done a nice job. Won't get the spare here.
It must be contagious because even David got a little fast that time. Lost the ball real short right at the foul line.
Could have the overconfident factor working. Gary Chumbor on lane 9. And he'll leave that for Dave Feliciano. Scorekeeper tonight is Joe Conti, a freshman up at St. Mark's. Dave now will need the 5-9 for a spare here in the 5th. Got it. Nice spare for Gary and Dave. Now the Avallones will move over to lane number 10.
David seems to be having trouble with his thumb hole on his ball. Maybe he needs to put a piece of tape in there. Another good shot by Sally Ann.
Brooklyn. And Mother Sally trying to pick up the spare here in frame number 6. She needs a 9-pin. Through 5, it was 91-72 Avallones. Remember, they're picking up a 36-pin handicap. Youth Adult Scotch Championships.
I think Sally's so nervous, she just can't loosen up. She's yanking everything right across in front of her body. I think that's 4 out of 6 frames that Sally Ann's gotten a 9 count.
Here's Sally Ann. 8 count this time. And the Avallones have had 1 spare in this match. That came in the 4th. Mother Sally will need the 4-7. through 6, Avallones with an even 100.
That's a better shot. She came
Right
straight
on.
up through that one. That was much better.
Sally Ann has had 4 9s, a 7, and 2 8s. So a spare in the 7th for the Avallones. And now Gary Chumbor will take over on lane number 10, working a spare here in the 7th. Big Dave Feliciano in the 7th, second roll. Nice ball. Chumbor now will take over on lane number 9.
Gary's going so fast that he's forcing him to drop his shoulder and just throw at the head pin.
Chumbor won't fall. Did not get that one down. Polish Gazette right here on WNS TV, cable channel 2. Dave now will need the 4-pin for a spare here in the 8th frame. And he'll do it. Nice ball from Dave Feliciano. So Dave and Gary with a 110 through 7, working a spare in the 8th. And now the Avallones working a spare going into the 8th frame. Here's Sally Ann.
Good shot.
At the
All
pocket.
right.
First strike of the match for the Avallones.
She's been very consistent the whole match. She's been hitting the head pin, getting 8s and 9s, and finally took 10 with that ball.
And now Mother Sally will take over first ball in the 9th. And this could work to the Avallones' advantage in the 10th frame.
It sure could.
Sally Ann has led off all 9 frames.
It's a decent shot. Ooh.
Nice ball. So Mother Sally with a 9 in the 9th. And Sally Ann will try to record a spare here. She needs the 5-pin. Second ball here in the 9th frame.
I think she's got it.
On line. Nice. Nice ball from Sally Ann Avallone. Freshman at Padua Academy. Current average of 103. Up to her average 10 pins since last year. She bowls in the Holiday Junior Tournament. And Chumbor now giving his club some trouble.
I know Gary's trying to slow down, but sometimes that's the hardest thing in the world to accomplish.
Here's Dave. Won't get it. And now Dave and Gary in some trouble.
Seemed to lose that ball right at his foot on the foul line. I don't know whether David's having trouble with his thumb hole or not.
Chumbor and Feliciano with a 132 through 9. And Chumbor will leave the 10-pin for Feliciano here in the 10th. The Feliciano. Not a good time for that. Looks like the Avallones just about wrapped things up.
It's nice to go into the 10th frame and not have to throw the ball and know you're a winner.
They had a 140 through 8, working a spare from the 9th. First ball in the 10th. 10th lane here at Price Lanes in Wilmington, Delaware. 8 bowling centers in Newcastle County.
It's a pretty good shot there.
Sally Avallone got the head pin. 10 won't fall. Pretty much academic now here in the 10th. There's Sally Ann. Chumbor and Feliciano finishing with a 141. And Sally Ann with a 510. Just barely sliding it by. And Sally Ann and Sally Avallones, the mother-daughter combination, knocking off Dave Feliciano and Gary Chumbor in the Youth Adult Scotch Doubles Championships here from Price Lanes. Your final, Sally Ann and Sally 166, Gary and Dave 141. Stay with us right here on the Bowlers Gazette. From Price Lanes in Wilmington, Delaware, Steve Turnberger with Coach John Thompson. Big doubles match today between Janet Egan teaming up with Bobby Capparell, and also Dave and Doug Hood here from Price Lanes. Coach Thompson, good matchup this afternoon. 34 pins will be given to Capparell and Egan.
It should be a good match.
The Hoods will start it. Dave and Doug taking on Janet Egan, Bobby Capparell. And David Hood looks like he'll start on lane 9. This is Dave, 21 years of age, currently with a 190 average. Been bowling for 13 years. Big strike for Dave Hood to open the polling here on Price Lane.
A well-executed shot there. That's the way to come out of the gate with a big strike.
Big start for the Hood brothers. And now here's Janet Egan. Janet will slide it a little left. And Bobby Capparell will bowl. Janet, 41 years of age, 2 children, Sean and Sheila. Bobby Capparell, 19 years of age, currently with a 168 average. And Bob, right now, a student at the Salem Community College in Salem, New Jersey. And Capparell with a nice pair.
Nice easy motion, stroke the ball down the lane. Spare shots, it's now how hard you hit them. It's just to hit them and knock them over.
Janet Egan now on lane 9.
Good shot.
Not a lot of form, but she gets all 10 pins. Janet Egan.
How's that saying go? It's not how, but how many.
There you go.
She did the job. She got them all.
Not the quality, but the quantity, I guess. Here's our first look at Doug Hood, 16 years of age, a junior at Glasgow High School. 180 average currently. And the Hoods now working a strike in frame number 2. This is brother Dave. He needs a 1, 3, and 9. Dave Doug Hood against Bob Capparell, Janet Egan.
Nice shot.
David Hood with a strike and a spare in frames 1 and 2, and now brother Doug will move over to lane 9 to start the 3rd frame.
Fairly strong shot right in the pocket there, wrapped with the 4-pin.
I know, I can hear that. I know,
Here's Dave. He'll get the spare. And the Hood's now clean through 3 frames. Strike, 2 spares. Bob Capparell will move over to lane number 10 to start the 3rd frame. And Bob will be working off a strike from Janet Egan. Bobby with a 168 average. That's going to be a tough split. See how Janet Egan will approach this one. Janet needs a 6, 7, and 10.
Uh-oh, look out.
Got a kick. That would have been the shot of the day here from Price Lanes.
Been a wonderful shot. Bobby needs to get all the way through the ball. He cut that last shot off and left a tough split.
So Bob Capparell now lane 9. Bob and Janet trailing here. Remember, they're getting a 34-pin handicap. Janet will need the 6-10 in the 4th frame here from Price Lanes. Our first gutter of the match. And now the Hoods can really take a big lead here. Here's Doug Hood, lane 10. Nice strike for Doug Hood.
Not a break on the crossover.
This ball by Doug Hood. Now the Hoods with a strike, pair of spares, and a strike through 4 frames. And here's brother Dave, lane 9, start of the 5th frame. On line, and that's what Doug Hood will have for a spare here in the 5th. Needs the 3-pin. We will be taking a quick station break after the second ball for the Hoods in frame number 5. Doug Hood gets the spare in the 5th frame. We'll take this time out. Come back right after these important messages. Bobby Capparell here at Price Lanes in Wilmington, Delaware. Steve Turnberger with Coach John Thompson on the Avallones Gazette right here on WNS-TV, cable channel 2. Bobby Capparell on lane 10, starting the 5th frame. He's bowling with Janet Egan this afternoon. And Bobby with a big strike.
Nice stroke that time. The 2 previous frames, he yanked back on the ball, but that time he went straight through it. Much better shot.
Big mark by Bob Capparell. And now Janet Egan will move to lane number 9. This combo not out of it yet.
She left him a tough shot.
Bob and Janet with a 90 through 4 complete. Now Bobby working his strike from the 5th. Second ball in the 6th frame. And Capparell will leave an open frame here in the 6th. Bob Capparell on a full ride tennis scholarship at Salem Community College. Talk more about that a little bit later. Dave Hood.
Oh my.
And now Doug will have the 4-6 split.
It appeared like Dave dropped his shoulder down that time and yanked the ball up on the head pin.
Janet and Bob with a 118 through 6. And Doug Hood will take the 6-pin. First open frame for the Hoods. They trail 118 to 106. Doug Hood now, frame number 7. He's working on lane 9 here at Price Lanes in Wilmington, Kirkwood Highway. And Dave's going to leave younger brother, Dougie, with a tough split here. He has the 5-10.
Dave's just a little quick to the line. He's dropping his shoulder down, causing him to yank across the head pin with it.
Dougie will take the 10 pin. And coach, we have an interesting match getting cranked up here. This is very close as Bob and Janet move into frame number 7. Here's Janet Egan.
A good shot this time.
Got the pocket. That's a classic example of you really don't have to have that much strength to play this game.
No, just get the ball into the proper area. That's probably the best ball she's thrown, and she got a real solid 10 pin on that. Sometimes the better you throw it, the more wraps you get.
Here's Bob Capparell looking for a spare in the 7th. Bob will slide it by.
Bobby showed no confidence in that shot. As soon as he started to walk up there, you could see he was going to pull the ball inside.
Bob and Janet now 12-point lead. 127-115.
Another good shot.
It's the nose. And now Capparell will need the 5 pin for a spare here in the 8th. Bobby Capparell does not look like a tennis player. From what I understand, he can play the game. Challenged me a few times, have reneged. And Capparell with a nice spare. So Bob and Janet with a spare in the 8th. They have a 127 score through 7 full. And now the Hood's working on lane number 9, frame 8. This is Dave Hood, 21 years of age. Dave Hood and Doug Hood. Dave, 21 years of age, and Dougie gets 16.
Dave's not giving the ball a chance at all. He's rushing that last step to the foul line and just yanking the ball back through. He's leaving some tough shots for his brother. We're running out of frames now. I think Dave better pack one in there and give him a foundation.
Starting the 9th frame. This is Doug Hood.
He tried to make an adjustment there, but he's still too quick on his explosion to the foul line.
There's Doug now needing the 2-4. Somewhat of an easier spare shot than he's had past frames. Picks up the spare in the 9th. And now I guess the match can be won or lost right here in the 9th frame for Janet and Bob. Janet Egan, current average at 112, 2 children, Sean and Sheila. And Janet's going to pull this one well left, and Bob Capparell now. He needs a spare here in the 9th. Through 8, Bob and Janet with a 16 pin advantage, 140-124.
Gonna need good rhythm out of Bobby this time. Really stroked the ball. A very tough shot. He's got a chance. Nice shot.
Nice shot, Bobby Capparell, 19 years of age. And in Bobby's bio, why he got involved in bowling, because of his father, and also because he bought his own equipment for him. Guess that helps.
Yeah, dads are like that.
His father, Jimmy Capparell, great guy. And Egan, unfortunately, will give her team some trouble here now. Bob and Janet with a 150 through 9.
That's probably the worst possible time to throw a gutter ball, leading off the 10th frame on a spare. And we need another good shot from Bobby, just like the last one.
Capparell.
The left lane's hooking more in the right lane, and Bobby doesn't seem to be adjusting to it.
Bob and Janet finish out with a 158. And they only picked up 8 pins in that the 10th frame. Now Doug and Dave Hood will work lane 10.
Crucial ball here.
Working a spare from the 9th. Dave Hood and Doug Hood. Doug will need the 1, 2, and 8.
Doug needs a spare.
Match riding right here. Missed it. Slid it by. Dave and Doug Hood not up to their usual performance here on the Bowlers Gazette. And Bob Capparell, Janet Egan winning here. The final score, Bob and Janet 158, Dave and Doug 149. Big victory for Capparell and Egan. Stay with us right here on the Bowlers Gazette. We'll come back to Channel 2 after this pause.